number 51, from Reston, Virginia. And the guards, Terry Bradley, a sophomore out of Washington, D.C. And at the other guard is Jesse Hicks, a freshman from Richmond, Virginia, 6'4", number 21. Under head coach Chris Weller. For Rutgers, under head coach Teresa Grentz. At the forwards, number 32 is Vicky Pikett, 6-foot junior from Hightstown, New Jersey. At the other forward, Tanya Hansen, 6'2" sophomore from Albany, New York. The center is number 41, LaTanya Johnson, 6'4" sophomore out of Patterson, New Jersey. At the guards, number 21, Suzanne Cooper, 5'9" senior from Laurel, Maryland. And at the other guard, Lynn Ust, 5'11" junior from South Amboy.
Lou, you mentioned that strong Maryland schedule. They play 9 ranked teams. They were ranked, of course, when Maryland played them. They've managed to beat 4 of those ranked teams: ODU, Long Beach, Penn State, and of course they just had a great win their last game. They knocked off number 10 Virginia. That's important to them because they're working to get ready for the ACC tournament. They're 7-7 in the ACC, but I think they have a lot of potential for that tournament.
Head coach Chris Weller at Maryland. She's in her 15th year. Tremendous program at the University of Maryland. And Teresa Grentz also. You're seeing two of the outstanding coaches in women's collegiate basketball here today.
No doubt about that. Chris has 8 conference titles, 10 national tournaments, and of course last year you mentioned that great team they had. She was in the Final Four. On the other side of the bench you have Teresa Grentz, the 9th winningest Division I active coach, 4 consecutive NCAAs, 9 20-win seasons, 1 30-win season, 2 great coaches.
Maryland is in their road red uniforms, trimmed with white and black, and Rutgers in their home white uniforms, trimmed with red and black. Identical colors, one on the home, one at home and one on the road. Hicks will jump up against Hansen, and we're about ready to get underway. And the tap controlled by Maryland. Quick break for the Terps as they take it to the hoop and score. Daphne Lee scores, and Maryland leads it by the score of 2-0. Rutgers across the midcourt line. Here's Lynn Ust, who took over at point guard for the injured Cheryl Kopp. LaTanya Johnson's at the foul line. Here's Pikett with a foul line jumper, no. Rebound comes off the backboard, and Maryland the other way. Quickly up court is Terry Bradley. She sets it up, goes around the perimeter to Sabrina Rivers. Bounce pass inside to Lee. Gets it back out to Rivers, being played by us. They go inside. Hicks puts it up, in off the glass. Good job by Hicks.
And both teams, Lou, starting in the man-to-man defense. I think we'll see Maryland stay with it much longer. We'll see Rutgers change around from zone and match up back to man-to-man.
Maryland leads it 4-0. Inside to us, knocked away by Hicks. Quick hands there. And the Terps quickly up court. Long outlet pass. This is Hicks, jumper in the paint, no. Good rebound underneath Sabrina Rivers, and then a battle. Hicks goes back underneath to Lee, stolen momentarily by Rutgers, and we'll have a turnover. Actually, Maryland will keep possession as Rutgers went out of bounds. Vicky Pikett on the end line.
Jessie Hicks, number 32 for Maryland, is the player who broke her foot. She missed 10 games, is back now, really makes them a different team.
Teresa Grentz saying, Dick, that the arrow is pointing the other way.
And Chris Weller saying, why is the arrow pointing the other way? Because it's my ball.
They've got it sorted out. And Maryland will inbound underneath its own basket. Here's Bradley. Rivers. Back to Bradley. Looks for a play call from Coach Weller. Tough defense by Rutgers. Winkler is rejected by Hansen. Tanya Hansen comes into the game with 41 blocks on the season. She's done an outstanding job in that department.
I think that makes a nice matchup too, Winters and Hansen. They're very similar players, very similar physically.
Outside jumper put up, no, off the back rim by Daphne Lee, and the outlet to Ust. Cross court, Pikett, one dribble on the baseline. Underneath, finds Hansen in the paint, puts it up, in, and the foul.
Great move by Tanya Hansen. That was a great rebound down this end, and what she did so nicely was outlet the ball to us. Us hesitated for a second, but then pushed it up the floor. I think that'll be important for Rutgers. I'm sure Teresa Grentz agrees with that as she looks like she calls the defense.
We mentioned in the pregame that Tanya Hansen has been really hot lately. In fact, over her last 12 games, she's averaging nearly 17 points a game and almost 9 rebounds a contest.
That doubles all but 3 times this year.
Here's a turnover. Cooper bounce pass, Pikett off her knee and out of bounds. So Maryland will get it back. 4-2. Maryland leads it. 2 minutes gone by in this first half. Full court pressure now by Rutgers as Maryland looks to get it across. Bradley finds Lee, goes inside Winters. Beautiful pass back to Hicks, and then the foul, I believe. Well, but it might be on Pikett originally, but it could be on Lynn Ust. Oh.
Winters and Hicks work very nicely in there. You'll see that they will very rarely come off those blocks. They stay inside. If they come off the blocks, they're going to be in a high-low post position. You talked about Tanya Hansen's blocking ability, and LaTanya Johnson also a great blocker. I think they rank 1-2 in the Atlantic 10.
Jessie Hicks is at the line. She's only a 50% free throw shooter. And she misses the first. She'll get another. And gets the roll on the second. 5-2. The Terrapins by 3. Cooper into Hansen, gets position, puts it up, no. Rebound knocked around, and Maryland comes out with it. 3 Maryland players underneath the board. Here's a long outlet pass, saved by Rivers at the midcourt line. Bradley goes, left wing, put up, no, by Hicks. Rebound knocked around underneath, put up, and a foul. I believe it's on Cooper.
Maryland's done a great job on their offensive board. Rutgers going to have to take that away. You can't give a team like Maryland 2-3 shots. 1, shut them down, get the ball, get your fast break going.
Sabrina Rivers goes to the line. She's a 62% free throw shooter. She's a senior out of Jamaica, New York, and she misses the first. She'll get another. Much to the delight of the Rutgers fans, I might add.
Well, I was watching them shoot the fouls in warm-up, and she only shoots at 62%. Holds the ball on the side and has a strange rotation.
She hits the second, and Maryland up by 4. Terps with their largest lead of the game, 6-2. Hansen again with position, puts it up, no.
And that's 2 times now. Rutgers has brought the ball out very nicely. Long passes, Cooper in the corner, Cooper down inside to Hansen. She just hasn't been able to convert. They'll keep that up, though.
Christie with the shot, yes. Estelle Christie, freshman from Bridgeport, Connecticut.
She had 19 versus Tennessee earlier this year.
Hansen at the foul line. Rutgers down by 6, 8-2. 3 minutes gone by, first half. Lynn Ust moves towards the hoop, puts it up, it's off. Johnson with the rebound, no. Winters loses to Ust. Lynn Ust fires and hits.
What a nice move by us. She put a lot of pressure on Winters there.
And the foul is on Ust, reaching in on Estelle Christie. This Maryland team, a young team, several freshmen getting playing time early, and the future looks bright for Chris Weller.
And Coach Weller talked about the chemistry. When you have a young team like that, it takes a while to learn each other's moves and to get things going, and then the injuries affected the chemistry too.
There's a look at Teresa Grentz talking with Vicky Pikett on the bench. Christy Winters, and they go around the horn, and the violation is against Maryland. Sabrina Rivers.
Rivers is a tough player. In the press guy call her blue-collar player. That's because she may be a little short on some of the skills, but she really worked very hard. That time too hard. She hooked with her arm as she made that baseline move they called the offensive foul.
The first foul on Rivers, and for Maryland, the third foul. Here's a turnover, and the Terps come the other way.
Maryland does look to push the ball down the floor. Rutgers back into man-to-man defense now.
Winters at the foul line, double teamed, goes back outside. Rivers on the right wing, back inside. Hicks, nice move in the paint, puts it up in. Gets the roll.
Very nice move, and they drill on that. They really work on that to get that down pat. That one little dribble, very nice move. And you also noticed very limited dribbling by Maryland.
Us goes Hansen. Here's Johnson in the paint and gets the roll.
What a touch Johnson has, too. She never brings that ball down, whether she's 6 feet from the basket or whether she's a foot from the basket. Really keeps it high.
10-6 Maryland. 15:20 remaining. First half. Bradley puts it up and in. Terry Bradley, the sophomore from Washington.
And that was a very nice move, too, Lou, because she was able to get some penetration in there, stepped it about 14 feet, and hit the jumper.
And there's a break in the action. 15 minutes, 8 seconds remaining. First half, Maryland 12, Rutgers 6.
A reminder again, ladies and gentlemen. 1-0 and liftoff.
We're seeing structures.
Oh, we were surprised. We expected this body to be rather like the moon. This was quite an interesting discovery. It was one that we thought we might find.
Command Center for the Deep Space Mission, which in the past few days has carried the eyes of men farther than they've ever been.
And the science is pushed in.
Just last night, we're going to have these frames come back from 2 billion.
People who deal in drugs ride in expensive cars. The same can be said about people who use drugs. If you or someone you know has a drug problem, call Habilitat before you get the ride of your life.
Maryland getting some nice scoring out of Bradley.
Because she keeps that ball in the left hand, and she was right at the elbow there. Very nice play. Good jump stop, nice release.
Rutgers trailing by 6 with 15:08 remaining here in this first half.
Maryland shooting at 50%. They're 5 for 10. Rutgers getting it inside, but not being able to convert inside. They're 3 for 8 at 38%.
And Teresa Grent's going to the bench early. Sita Mitchelson is in the game along with Clarissa Kotala. And a foul in the paint.
Sita Mitchelson, the freshman, seen a lot of playing time this year. Remember early in the season she had that arthroscopic surgery, missed some games, but seems back pretty strong.
Suzanne Cooper will trigger underneath the Rutgers basket. Gets it inside to Pikett. Spinning, puts it up in. What a shot by Vicky Pikett.
Great move in traffic. She had one on either side, one behind, but she was able to spin right around them.
Christie puts it up. Blocking foul on Sita Mitchelson. That'll be her first.
Coach Brent's not too happy about that now because Rutgers just too slow getting back. Got to be aware against this Maryland club because they'll be on top of you before you know it. Vicky Pikett going out. Vicky Green coming back in. Another freshman who's been doing pretty well as this season has come along.
They go up top to Christie. Here's Bradley with the ball. On the right wing, Christie at the point. Inside, Hicks, one dribble, turnaround jumper on the baseline, no. Put back up and blocked again by the Lady Knights. Hansen to Vicky Green, who's in the game now. Vicky Green, freshman from Trenton. Suzanne Cooper fires and hits.
And Rutgers with their best perimeter team out there now because Cooper can hit the outside shot, Català can hit the outside shot, and Vicky Green certainly can.
Rutgers has climbed back in. It's a 2-point game. Maryland by 2, 12-10. Lady Terps go to Winters at the foul line inside. Hicks, nice pass by Winters, but Hicks cannot connect. And Mitchelson's done a good job in the brief stint that she's been in off the boards.
Did a great job. She stepped in front that time. They had to throw the pass a little high to get it over her.
Cooper tried to force it into Hansen, knocked away by Winters. Christie dishes it out of bounds. Looking on the right wing for Terry Bradley, but on the turnover, Rutgers gets it back.
What happened down the other end is Hansen did a nice job of pinning her player. Cooper just couldn't quite deliver. It was the right idea. It would have been a good play.
And the Lady Terps will throw it. Here's the bounce pass to Christie. In the right corner, they go inside Winters, who gets position and scores.
Rutgers bringing help over that time, but not in time. Nice pass.
Christy Winters, third all-time leading scorer in Maryland women's basketball history. Lynn Us, the jumper off the rim, no. Quick outlet. And blocked by Us. They call the foul. Lynn Us on the foul. Estelle Christie getting down the court quickly.
That's a second foul as she talks with Coach Grentz now. Coach Grentz telling her you can't go down slowly. You must concentrate. You got to turn around and look because Merlin is firing that ball long and going to be on top of you before you know it.
Christie's at the line, and she will shoot two. 73% free throw shooter. And her first is good. There's that unorthodox release that you talked about earlier. Vicky Pikett back into the game for Rutgers, and Lynn Ust will sit down. Ust with 2 personal fouls. Second, no good, and the rebound, Pikett. 15-10. Katala with the basketball for Rutgers. Bounce pass to Mitchelson at the foul line. Goes in the paint, puts it up, traveling the call. Oh, a nice shot, but Cedar that time a little bit out of control.
A little bit out of control. Put her head down and just lost it as she was going up. That's 5 turnovers for Rutgers, 2 for Maryland.
Bradley goes inside. Lee back to Bradley. Winters turnaround jumper off the front of the rim, and the foul is on Maryland. They'll call it on Sabrina Rivers over the back. That's the second on Rivers. That'll be the 4th team foul on the Terps.
Tanya Hansen doing a nice job on Winters there. She forced her maybe a step or 2 out further than she wanted to be. Maryland staying in that aggressive man-to-man defense. That's what's creating those turnovers.
Vicky Green in the corner, back to Clarissa Katala. Here's Green. She's a freshman. Hansen. Katala for 3, yes!
She can light it up too. Everybody's known that all along. That's her favorite shot, the 3-point shot.
She is 33% from 3-point range, which isn't bad.
Hit 3 of them against Penn State the other night. Had her high for her career that night.
The foul is on Pikett underneath. That's the second on Vicky Pikett. And that will be the 6th team foul on Rutgers. This will not be a shooting foul. Maryland was lining up to shoot, but Daphne Lee will inbound underneath her own basket. She goes up high. Quick ball movement. Winters gets it back to Christie. Goes on the left wing. Lee. Here's Winters. Turnaround on Mitchelson's good. Actually, that was Hicks. Jessie Hicks underneath, not Christie Winters.
Tough to tell because they both play the same way inside. One on one block, one on the other. They're very capable players inside, and Maryland sure looks to go to them.
Katala for 3. Off the rim, no. Rebound, Mitchelson underneath. Powers it up, no. Rebound knocked around, and Hicks comes down with it for Maryland. And the Terps quickly up court. They have a 4-point lead, 17-13 Maryland. Ball knocked away from Christie. Traveling is the call.
Nice pressure on Green. Vicky Green putting good pressure there on the defense, caused that turnover.
And a timeout on the floor. 11:25 remaining first half. Maryland 17, Rutgers 13.
Buckle up, New Jersey, buckle up. We can all live longer if we buckle up. Whether close to home or if far you roam, keep your seatbelt buckled all the time. No excuses, you know it's a fact. With your seatbelt buckled, your windshield won't crack. In the Garden State, please don't flirt with fate. Uncle Floyd is telling all New Jersey, buckle up.
The odds are 2,038-1 your life will end in a plane crash. 345-1 you'll die of AIDS. 105-1 you'll be murdered.
But the odds-on favorite to take your life is cardiovascular disease. Chances are nearly 50-50 it will eventually kill you. You can put money on it, but if you want to improve your odds, put it into research instead. Improve your odds. Support the American Heart Association.
Maryland by 4, 17-13. Rutgers getting some play, some good play from some of the people off the bench, Dick.
Well, we talked about the similarities, and we didn't mention this, but both clubs are doing that. You look at who they've started, and each club has 2 or 3 that regularly start, but both coaches are playing 8 and 9 players, and as you're saying, getting some good quality time out of that bench.
Here is Vicky Pikett cross-court. Vicky Green. Katawa. Green with a nice move. Actually, Pikett with a nice move on the baseline and then throws it away. Off of Hanson's hands, and Maryland with a 2-on-1, but it's broken up by Rutgers. Katawa quickly to Hanson, and she travels.
But that ball, had to put it down a little bit sooner. Got that extra step in there, but it was a nice look by Clarissa. That's Rutgers' 7th turnover. Coach Grent's hands on the hip can't be too satisfied with that, I'm sure.
11 minutes remaining first half. Maryland by 4, 17-13, and the game a little bit sloppy right now as Maryland turns it over again. Vicky Green on the right wing. It's tapped out of bounds, and last touch by the Terps. So Rutgers will inbound. Mandy Valentine checks into the game for the Lady Knights. And Tanya Hanson will get a breather. Valentine's a sophomore from Media, Pennsylvania, 6'2". So Rutgers now has only one starter in the game. That's Vicky Pikett. Vicky Green outside, no. Rebound, Winters. Maryland, they like to push it up the floor. Bradley goes in the corner and throws it away. 3 trips in a row, Maryland has thrown the ball away. And I know that Chris Weller can't be happy with that, Dick. We were just talking about Teresa Grent's unhappy with the turnovers. Both coaches have to be unhappy.
Well, Maryland, I know Chris Weller does like the up-tempo game. She's got a little bit more quickness, I think, throughout the starters and the bench, so she does want to look to run it, certainly not throw it away.
Patala for 3, banks it in. You'll take it any way you can get it. A 3-pointer, 18-17. Rutgers in the lead for the first time.
Certainly will, and she can get hot at that 3-point range. That's her shot.
Hicks, couple of double pump fakes, puts it up. No, Winters fights for the rebound, and Pikett with a great job to keep control of the ball. And the Lady Knights the other way. We're halfway through this first half. Pikett almost lost it, got it in the corner. Spins on the baseline on Winters off the side of the backboard. And Maryland the other way. Ball stripped away by Katawa.
Not a smart move by Christie there. That was 1 against 3. Should have held that up.
That's 5 straight turnovers against Maryland. Pikett on the right wing throws it into Valentine, tipped out, and then Mitchelson stepped on the end line. LaTanya Johnson comes back into the game for the Lady Knights, and Cedar Mitchelson will sit down. Also, Maryland will substitute. And head coach Teresa Grentz and Chris Weller with a meeting at center court. Not sure what this might be all about. Scoreboard, I believe, is wrong. It says 17-16, but well, I'm not sure. I think it's, they'll figure it out. Now the score is right. They had Rutgers up 18-17. It's 17-16 Maryland. Maryland 17, Rutgers 16. And I could see how that would be of concern to both coaches. Couldn't you, Dick? There's a foul on Christy Winters.
I'm surprised usually when that happens, the fans are the ones that are right on it. In fact, I think some of these fans sit here and just watch the scoreboard and try to catch that operator with a mistake. Of course, that's what our excellent statistician did and pointed it out to us.
The fans have not been in the game that much so far. They've been
definitely not in the game.
Quiet. Christy Winters is at the line. Outstanding player, senior from Reston, Virginia. Has had a great career at Maryland. She's also has the record for playing in the most games at the University of Maryland.
This is our 119th game.
And she hits both. A 73% free throw shooter, and the Lady Terrapins are up by 3. 19-16. 9 minutes remaining, first half.
That was Winters' 4th point tonight. She's had a game where 26 points in 33 minutes, so she can really light it up in a short period of time.
This is Vicky Pikett inside. Vicky Green puts it up in no man's land. It's blocked by Hicks. Jump ball, and Rutgers possession on the alternating arrow.
That was a nice offensive set for Rutgers. The only problem is they wound up with the ball in Vicky Green's hands down inside, and that was a little tough for her to power it against the Maryland inside players.
Clarissa Catala. She's a senior from Puerto Rico. Vicky Pikett on the right wing. Looks to move in the paint now. Here's a fadeaway jumper, in and out. And rebound to Winters. Quickly to Holmes. Carla Holmes in the game for Maryland now. And the Terps running the court well, but cannot connect. Bradley puts it up, no. Partially deflected by Pikett, and she comes away with it.
Rutgers got lucky that time because Maryland got down on them again. They waste no time.
LaTanya Johnson, Vicky Pikett, set shot, good.
Usually doesn't like to take that one. Usually she'll fake that, but eventually when they give it to you, the scouting report has got to say, let her take the outside shot. She likes to fake it and drive, but that time she stuck it. Keeps the defense honest.
This is Winters with the turnaround on Valentine. No, rebound, knocked around by Johnson, and Pikett quickly to Green. Vicky Green spinning, offensive foul is the call.
Probably pretty good acting there, although the official didn't have much choice. Green, I think, spun very nicely.
And there's a break in the action. 7 minutes, 55 seconds remaining. First half, the score. Maryland 19, Rutgers 18.
Where are we going to do it, leg or arm?
I can't do it.
Yes, you can.
I don't want to do anything.
I want you to help by sitting still.
Josh is one of 11 million Americans who deals with diabetes.
But he still faces the threat that his diabetes could lead to heart disease, kidney disease, and blindness.
Help us end this nightmare.
What we've learned from research on the human heart has changed the way people live and how long they live. Death rates from heart attack have declined by a remarkable 30.9% since 1977, but it remains America's #1 killer. So contact the American Heart Association, because what you don't know can kill you.
Here's some of the action. 3-point shot. Catala.
She likes that. She's got good range. It's just a little one-handed push shot. She has very nice follow-through with it.
We mentioned...
Excuse me, Lou. Rutgers 2 for 4 tonight from 3-point range, so they're shooting, at least initially, pretty well.
Yes, way above their average. We mentioned Catala. She's 33% from 3-point range, but as a team, Lady Knights under 30. And a violation against Maryland.
Good defense, good pressure for that 5 seconds. Interesting to note, Maryland shooting 5 for 8 from the foul line. Rutgers only 1 foul shot, but earlier this year against Duke, in fact it was last week, Duke did not shoot a single foul shot. There were a total of 8 fouls called against Maryland.
Turnover against Rutgers as they try to go inside, and Hicks intercepts. Maryland again up-tempo. Bradley at the top of the key. Goes outside. Carla Holmes in the game. They go inside Winters. It's knocked away by Valentine. And they get it back out, and they'll set up. 10 seconds on the 30-second shot clock. Hicks puts it up off the glass.
Well, that was nice. They stand around outside. They keep the Hicks and Winters rotating inside, and they dump it down nicely.
Well, you got to be impressed with Jessie Hicks, only a freshman. She looks like she's going to be a good one. Valentine, turnaround jumper, way off. And Maryland comes the other way. in transition. This will be an easy one. Carla Holmes lays it up and in.
She wanted to make sure it was easy. She took the jump stop, got her balance, and then went up very strong. But again, Rutgers getting caught without that balance. Catala has to get back on defense when that shot goes up.
Catala puts it up. No. Maryland the other way. It's a 5-point Terp lead. Hicks puts it up and in, and Maryland running the court and just really getting back much quicker than Rutgers.
And Maryland's whole offense is on the break and the transition right now. Should say part of their offense is their defense, because I think it's a very strong man-to-man defense. That's probably why they don't foul a lot.
And stolen by the Terps. Put up, no, and the foul. Nice maneuver by Terry Bradley. The foul was on Vicky Green. And Terry Bradley, by the way, leads the club in steals. Actually, she's tied with Sabrina Rivers. They came in with 34 steals apiece.
I think they're so fundamentally sound on that man-to-man, and they have such great quickness that that's why they don't foul a lot. We mentioned that Duke game, another game against North Carolina, only shot 2 fouls. We said Rutgers has only shot 1 so far, so it's not the officiating. It seems to be consistent. Has to do with the kind of defense that Maryland plays.
And the free throw good by Terry Bradley, 77% from the line. She's a 5'6" sophomore out of Washington, D.C. And she hits the second as she gets the roll. And right now, Maryland, with its largest lead of the game, the Terrapins are up by 9, 27-18.
That was Bradley's 4th point. Rutgers, 11 turnovers.
Michelson double dribble.
Michelson having a lot of problems. That's the same move that she made before. Teresa wants a timeout now, I think, to just kind of settle them down.
And Teresa Grants calls the timeout. She wants to talk it over. Maryland over Rutgers, 27-18. The Terps up by 9.
The last time you subscribed to a news magazine, what did you get? A free phone that you've never used? Or a calculator that conked out on you? Insight is a different kind of news magazine. Instead of insulting your intelligence by offering you some free plastic gadget, they'd rather give you 3 free issues. That makes sense because only by reading Insight can you discover how different and really valuable this magazine is. Instead of just rehashing the week's happenings like others do, Insight anticipates and stays ahead of the news, searches out vital stories that need to be told, and tells them long before they're covered by other media. Call now to receive the next 3 issues free. Subscribe if you wish at the money-saving rate of just $15 for 30 issues. Or return your invoice marked cancel and pay nothing.
Call 1-800-253-1000 to get the next 3 issues of Insight magazine without obligation. Yours to keep whether or not you subscribe. Call now 1-800-253-1000.
And a good timeout by Teresa Grants as we come back, Dick. Try to ebb the tide a little bit. 27-18, Maryland on a run. Here is Hicks at the foul line. Bradley outside. Holmes, excellent shooter from 3-point range. Carla Holmes, left wing, tried to go inside. Michelson knocks it out of bounds.
Maryland does a nice job of swinging the players along the baseline. That time it was Holmes. They swing along the baseline. As the players come out to play that corner, they try and dump it inside.
Bradley, Winters, 5 seconds on the 30-second shot clock. Into Hicks, puts it up, in.
Nice job with a lot of traffic, too, and that's her 13th point. 13 points, 2 rebounds for Hicks.
29-18, 11 points. Maryland lead. The Terrapins with their largest lead of the game. Hansen puts it up, no, gets her own rebound, puts it up and in. Well, there's some determination.
Very nice job by Hansen, and Rutgers has got to do that. They've been getting it inside earlier, but then they're turning it over. That time she missed the first one. Great offensive board.
9-point game, 29-20 Maryland. 4:40 remaining first half. Bradley. Winters puts it up and in. Christine Winters.
And Winters does such a nice job of getting that position in there. She uses her body very well, and she's able to score with that weak side help coming over.
Linnust on the left wing. Looks for help, tapped away by Winters. Quickly up to Holmes. He's being played by Catala. Finds Winters, spins, and that'll be traveling. That time, the turnover against Maryland. Rutgers gets the break. But the Lady Knights, a little bit sloppy with the ball right now, Dick.
A little bit sloppy, a lot of turnovers. They got to look inside, but they got to make better passes inside.
Here's Lynn Ust, right wing, inside Hansen, gets position, puts it up, no, off the back of the rim. Pikett rebound, puts it up and in. Vicky Pikett.
And look at Maryland, though, right on top already. They're already at three-quarter court. They don't waste any time to that long inbounds pass. Swing a player along the baseline. Keep Hicks and Winters inside and look for them in there.
Here's Holmes. Bradley, Holmes. You know, inside Hicks. Taken away, and a jump ball by Hansen. It'll remain Maryland's possession on the alternating arrow, but good job by Hansen.
Rutgers played that one very well. They threw that high lob pass, and Hansen was able to time that perfectly to get that jump ball.
Daphne Lee. This is Bradley. Terry Bradley being played by Catala. This is Hicks. Tried to force it inside, but too many Lady Knights there, and the ball knocked away. Quick outlet pass up court, knocked away by Bradley in front of the Maryland bench. Rutgers will inbound.
Maryland seems to be getting back on defense a little bit better, so they're taking away that transition game and fast break from Rutgers.
Maryland by 9, thrown away again. And Holmes takes it to the hoop. Score.
Notice she likes that jump stop again. Doesn't go straight up with it, but lands, gets a good base.
11-point Maryland lead, 33-22. Here is Hansen at the top of the key. Puts it up, strong move, doesn't go. Us gets the rebound, and the foul is on the Terrapins. They'll call it on Terry Bradley.
Rutgers working harder on the offensive board. Hansen just having some tough luck inside. I don't know how many times she's driven now, gotten the shot off. It's gone right in the basket, rolls around and comes back out.
And Rutgers will inbound. 2:53 remaining in the half. Ball tapped out of bounds by Daphne Lee. And the Lady Knights will throw it in again.
Tanya Hansen shooting 2 for 7.
Linus triggers. Finds Hansen underneath. Back to Johnson from the foul line. No. What a rebound by Hansen, but taken away by Hicks. Quickly Holmes across the midcourt line. Goes on the right wing, Bradley. Back to Holmes at the point. This one knocked away momentarily by Pikett. And in the backcourt, and it's a backcourt violation on the Terrapins. Good defense by Rutgers on that sequence.
Good aggressive defense.
The Lady Knights need to score some points here. 33-22. 2:25 remaining. Hansen inside, puts it up. No, draws the foul. Daphne Lee on the personal foul. And Tanya Hansen will go to the line. I think the Lady Knights have been getting good shots inside. Unfortunately for them, they just have not been falling. Their shooting percentage must be way down at this point.
In a sense, I was going to say you can't ask for much more than that because Hansen is positioning herself well. They're getting it down to her. She's on the block, maybe a step past the block. Cannot get it to drop.
Tanya Hansen, a player that really has come on. She's a sophomore out of Albany, New York. And she, as we mentioned, we documented her play over the last 12 games. She comes in overall averaging 14 points a game. And a player that I think is going to be a real solid performer for Rutgers in the future.
I'll tell you one thing she'll need to do, though, Lou, is work on that foul shot. It amazes me how many players, both men and women, are good basketball players, but come up short on that foul line. She's shooting 57%. She's 0 for 3 in this game.
Here's Bradley to Hicks. 11-point Maryland lead. Winters. Carla Holmes being played by Hansen. Goes in the paint and throws the ball away, but last touch by Rutgers. And the home crowd doesn't particularly care for the call.
That's hard to believe that the home crowd didn't like that call. Fisher was indicating it. He said it went off Lynn Ust's leg.
This is Holmes outside. 10 seconds on the 30-second shot clock. A minute 55 remaining in the first half. Winters at the foul line. Shot put up, and the 30-second shot clock expired, and Rutgers comes up with the basketball anyway. A minute 40 remaining, and it's an 11-point Maryland lead. Hansen on the baseline, yes.
Nice drive. I thought she could have almost had an offensive foul there. Good acting by Winters. She went straight at her, but Hansen was able to pull up, have good control, and take that little 6-foot jumper. She had also a great block down this end on Holmes.
Winters jump ball. LaTanya Johnson over the back with a nifty block.
That was a nice job, and Johnson's number 4 in Rutgers history, shot blocking. Hansen number 5, so that's a pretty good tandem in shot blockers, the SWAT team as they call them. Johnson and Hansen.
And the clock is running at 1:10 left in the half. And Rutgers down by 9. Here's Vicky Pikett to Tara Linnuts. Into the cutting Hansen, puts it on the floor. Last touch by Rutgers. And the Lady Knights turn it over again, and Maryland will throw it in.
Maryland done a nice job on defense. That time, Terry Bradley, as that ball went in the post, she turned, went back in on it, got a hand, and knocked it off of Hansen's leg. Good fundamental defense.
Bradley in the corner. Back inside, Winters puts it up short off the front of the rim, and Rutgers running, but Linnuts will hold it up now. 42 seconds left in the half. Ust makes a move to Pikett. A spinner, in and out. And Maryland the other way, 30 seconds remaining. Bradley for 3, bullseye. Terry Bradley hits the three-pointer, and Maryland with its largest lead, 36-24. 15 seconds remaining in the half.
Bradley, one of Maryland's three-point shooters. She's shooting at 35% from three-point range.
Pikett drives to the hoop. No. Ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Rutgers. Maryland ball with 2 seconds remaining.
Coach Weller on the sideline directing her team. She wants a shot in that last 2 seconds now. She's trying to direct a little play with a long pass.
Long pass at the buzzer. No, off the backboard, and that'll do it. So Maryland controls the first half. Our score at halftime.
And since this isn't a conference game, I'm not sure she'll be used today.
By the way, you might have heard the crowd cheering also in the background. Lynn Ust was given an award at halftime for the player of the month. I believe that was the month of January for Rutgers. Just underway, second half, and Rutgers trailing Maryland by the score of 36-24 as Maryland moves left to right on your screen, and good defense by Rutgers. Ball last touched by Maryland. They give it to Rutgers, although that call could have gone either way.
Rutgers did a
nice
nice
smile
job
on your face, Dick.
Nice job of collapsing inside. Well, you know, it's home, and Rutgers has quite a record here. 10-2 at home this season, 73-4 in the last 5 years at home.
Rutgers' tough shooting continues, shooting only 35% from the field in the first half, and Vicky Pikett cannot get that jumper to fall. Here's Winters with the turnaround. LaTanya Johnson stuffs it away from her. Here's a 3-on-2 for Rutgers. Ust quickly up court, dishes outside. Pikett, jumper good.
Nice play, and that's Rutgers' break in transition getting going now. They'll want to push that ball down the floor, beat Maryland down.
Rutgers would sure like to get the crowd back into this game. They've been very quiet for a Lady Night crowd. Not your typical boisterous crowd here at the Athletic Center.
And 2 good calls for them, and I don't mean that from the standpoint that they were wrong calls, but there was good pressure in the man-to-man, which Rutgers has come out here, created 2 turnovers, and that's got to be helpful for them.
It's a 10-point game, 36-26, Maryland. 18:40 remaining in the second half. Hansen with a nice spinning move. Lays it up and in.
And Rutgers going with that high-low offense. Johnson 2-3 steps above the foul line, looking down inside to Hansen. She took it and just whirled, used the glass, and that time it dropped for her.
36-28, 8-point game. Rutgers whittling away now at that one-time 12-point lead by Maryland. Here's Hicks. They go outside. Aggressive defense by the Lady Knights. Winters at the foul line. Wide open, though, as Rivers. She puts it up and in. Gets a fortuitous bounce.
Well, Rutgers changing their defense. They went to that matchup and they got a little confused. Maryland done a nice job with movement against it and eventually left their player wide open.
10-point Terrapin lead, 38-28. Cooper, the jumper, good.
That'll bring a defense out, and that's one thing that Coop can do is hit the outside shot. If she can get hot, that'll change the complexion of the game and change the complexion of the defense a little bit. Rutgers also putting a little pressure on, trying to pick up the tempo a little bit and get her players hustling.
38-30. Maryland by 8. Ball knocked away, last touch by Rutgers. Suzanne Cooper knocked it out of bounds. And Maryland will inbound side court. Sabrina Rivers will trigger. And she goes up top to Daphne Lee. There's Bradley, knocked away by us. Rivers saves. Bradley to the foul line. Jumper, good. She gets the bounce, and the foul will be on Lynn Ust.
Another one of those fortuitous bounces, which aren't supposed to happen on the away court. I was going to say that Rutgers was, and I think they are, doing a much better job on the defense. They're putting a little bit more pressure. 3 straight out of bounds as Maryland has come out. They were on that shot, but just on the arm a little too much.
Terry Bradley at the line. She'll try to complete a 3-point play. She's the sophomore of Washington, D.C. She's 77% from the line this year. And a free throw is good as she rolls it in.
She has 10 points in this ball game.
An 11-point Maryland lead, 41-30.
Bradley's 10 points, 2 above her average of 8.
Excuse me, Dick. Pikett gets it back to us, the foul. Vicky Pikett with some penetration at that time. I think Coach Grentz would like to see more of that. Vicky's been settling for that outside jump shot a lot in this game. Vicky Pikett, junior out of Hightstown, averaging 16.5 points per ball game, 73% from the free throw line. And she hits the first. She used a little body English also to get that ball to go in the hoop.
She sure did. She leaned a little bit with that one.
And the second is on the way. Good also. Substitution for the Terrapins. Estelle Christie, who saw some considerable action in the first half, comes into the game. She'll replace Daphne Lee.
Remember, Daphne Lee, the player that goes out, is the player that set a school record for points in a game of 39 the other night against Wake Forest with only a 9.9 average.
Thrown away. Maryland turnover. Here comes Rutgers. Quickly put up in. Vicky Pikett. It's a 7-point game, 41-34, and Rutgers has whittled that lead from 12 to 7. 3 minutes gone by, second half. Here's Rivers wide open on the right wing, but declines the shot. Christie goes baseline to Winters. Christie back to Christie Winters, who puts it up and draws the foul. So Christie Winters goes to the line.
And she does such a job inside of posting up, and you can't help but want to throw to her. You could see that look on her face, really gritting her teeth like, I want that ball, and she gets it and she goes up strong. But she's also smart enough to dish it back out when she doesn't have it. Too many big people inside think when it comes in, they're never going to get it again, so they're going up no matter what. They got to dish it out.
She'll shoot too. 73% free throw shooter, misses the first. Christie Winters comes from a basketball family. Her father, the head coach, is George Mason University. And she's majoring in communications, Dick. So Christie Winters will be doing what we're doing, hopefully someday.
And she's communicating out there now with those guards because they get it into her very nicely.
Here's Tanya Hansen looking for the cutting Cooper. Unfortunately, Coop was not looking at Hansen. Turnover. Maryland inbound. 42-34, 16.5 remaining in the second. Rivers, bounce pass underneath. Put up by Christie, no. Cooper comes down with the rebound. Ust quickly across the midcourt line. Lynn Ust moves to the foul line. Dishes underneath beautifully to Hansen, who cannot hit, but Johnson's there for the rebound.
There's Johnson there, but Ust did that. She didn't slow up. She pushed the ball down quickly, found Hansen too hard off the glass, but Johnson was there, and as I said before, she touches that ball and it goes right back up again. She never brings it down to neutralize that size she has.
It's a 6-point game, 42-36. 15:40 remaining in the second half. Hicks blocked by Johnson, and the foul.
Well, great job by Hicks. The cardinal rule and the basic fundamental, you do not give baseline. Johnson came out too far on that opposite side and gave Hicks a nice baseline drive. And it could be that Coach Grentz is going to bring her out now, putting Sita Mitchelson in, and going to talk to Johnson a little bit about that. It is her second foul. She probably wants to talk to her about that fundamental defensive error she made.
Hicks at the line. She'll shoot 2. First is no good. And there's a break in the action. 15 minutes, 40 seconds remaining second half. The score, Maryland 42, Rutgers 36.
Some people take risks that can lead to a heart attack or stroke. Risks like smoking and ignoring high blood cholesterol and doing nothing about high blood pressure. Combine 2 or 3 of these and your chances are even worse. Why take chances? Quit smoking. Lower your cholesterol and watch that high blood pressure. That heart attack or stroke may never happen.
Buckle up, New Jersey, buckle up. We can all live longer if we buckle up. Whether close to home or if far you roam, keep your seatbelt buckled all the time. No excuses, you know it's a fact. With your seatbelt buckled, your windshield won't crack. In the Garden State, please don't flirt with fate. Uncle Floyd is telling all New Jersey, buckle up.
Welcome back to Rutgers University, where the Lady Knights of Rutgers trail Maryland by the score of 42-36. And Jessie Hicks at the line. She missed her first free throw. She'll get another.
Great turnaround for Rutgers. Look at these statistics. First half, they shot 35%. So far this half, 5 for 7, 71%. Foul tries, they were 0 for 3. They're 2 for 2 now. 15 turnovers, only 1 this half to Maryland's 3. That's gotten them back in the ballgame.
Hicks just a 50% free throw shooter, and she misses both. Rutgers, the rebound. Pikett across the midcourt line. Lynn Ust directs traffic. She'll set up the play. Angles right, goes baseline. Closed up. Now in trouble. Hansen comes back to help out. Ust knifes in the paint. Blocked by the Terps. And Pikett regains. Pikett fakes the jump shot. Goes to Hansen. Suzanne Cooper hands to Ust. Bradley very quick out on Lynn Ust. Bounce pass Cooper. Here's Pikett. Maryland tough D. Pikett, a spinning fadeaway jumper is good.
What a great shot, because it was great defense, great quickness all the way around on Maryland's part. Really a lot of pressure on the ball. The baseline was taken away. She took 1 or 2 steps back and gave it enough loft to go in.
Rutgers right back in the game. It's a 4-point contest. Winters underneath lays it home.
And Maryland right back into it, going to what they do best, and that's getting it down inside to Christy Winters. She was right at the basket. Hansen's going to have to front her, make them throw it high, particularly when she is that low. That was Pikett's 8th point for this half. She's really being a big difference this second half.
44-38 turnaround. Hansen's good. 4-point game. 44-40, and things are beginning to heat up now with 14 minutes remaining second half.
Tempo picked up quite a bit. Rutgers trying to press. Maryland bringing it in right away. Nice backdoor by Bradley and a nice pass from Carla Holmes.
Bradley fouled, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2. That's the second foul on Tanya Hansen, and the 4th team foul on the Lady Knights. Larissa Kotala checks into the game, and Lynn Ust will sit down. And Ust has played very effectively here in the second half.
Well, it's a little tough to move from that number 2 guard spot to move to that number 1 guard spot. And she's done a very good job at that.
Bradley hits the first. She's a good free throw shooter, averaging 8 points per ball game. And the second good. She hits both. 6-point Maryland lead, 46-40.
Shooting 5 for 5 this game, Lou. Excuse me, Bradley from the line, 5 for 5.
Just under 14 minutes remaining in the second half. Here's Hansen out to Cooper. Mitchelson in the paint, puts it on the floor, in trouble, back to Catala, fakes the three, spins it out to Cooper. They go inside, Hansen, Mitchelson there in the right place, scores the basket.
Right place at the right time and scores the basket, and Maryland trying to get back, throws the ball out of bounds. There's that turnover situation again.
And now the crowd getting into it as the Terrapins throw the basketball away. And I'm not sure. I think Maryland called timeout. And Teresa Grentz is furious because she's saying, we had the ball. Interesting call, Dick. Maryland called timeout when Rutgers had the ball. They can't do that, of course. I believe that was the call. I could be mistaken. Confusion in front of the scorer's table. Rutgers will inbound.
The official isn't confused. He's not giving them the timeout, that's for sure.
Must have possession, of course, to call timeout. 46-42. Cooper drives, no. Gets her own rebound, saves the Hansen. What hustle by Cooper. Pikett knifes her way in and scores.
Now you talk about the crowd really getting into it. That was a great move. She went in strong, used the backboard nicely.
46-44. A 2-point game. Rutgers has not been this close since the early moments of the ball game. Here is Holmes being played by Cooper. Bradley, top of the key. Rivers, right wing. Inside Winters. Back to Bradley. Fakes the three. Puts it up. Off the rim, no. Pikett to Catala. And Rutgers can tie.
Nice defense that time by Rutgers in an aggressive man-to-man. Put a lot of pressure on Maryland, so they had to force that shot.
Here's Pikett. Jumper. Off the rim, no. Rebound. Hicks. Maryland the other way. Approaching the 12-minute mark, second half. 2-point game, 46-44. Rivers into Winters, lays it up and in.
They do that so well. Hansen was fronting. It was a nice high pass. The weak side didn't get over. Vicky Pikett a little shaken up. She had taken an elbow early in that offensive series as she swung along the baseline.
And Vicky Green will replace Vicky Pikett, and she moves off the court very slowly. Hopefully she'll be back. 48-44. You know, when Maryland needs a big basket, they really do go to Christy Winters, don't they? She's very difficult to stop when she gets that ball within 5 feet of the basket.
Well, they do such a nice job of lofting it into her.
Cooper with the three-pointer, and it sails out of bounds.
Rutgers really cannot be consistent with their shooting. We'll talk about that when we come back.
All right, timeout on the floor. 11 minutes, 49 seconds remaining. Second half, Maryland 48, Rutgers 44.
March 1st at the entertaining Anakin.
Hi, I'm Rebecca, host of TKR Cable's new astrology program, Rebecca's Forecast. Career, health, romance, what's in the stars for you? Join me live every second and fourth Tuesday between 6 and 7 p.m. and find out just what the stars may have in store for you. I'll see you then.
With today's rising food costs, many people are finding it difficult to maintain their budget. Share has the solution. By joining Share, you can start seeing a difference. In exchange for $13 and 2 hours of community service per month, Share can offer you 30 pounds of quality food, which values at $30 to $35. Join us and experience the Share difference in your community. Call Share at 201-344-2400.
And And the Rutgers crowd is into it now, Dick Lloyd, as they trail Maryland by 4. But the Lady Knights' play here in the second half has been inspired, to say the least.
They've made a great run, although Pikett is still on the bench, so she must have been shaken up a little bit. But I was talking about Rutgers being inconsistent. They shoot pretty well, but they can't do it back-to-back. For instance, Cooper, who had that air ball, let's take the last 6 games, 50%, then down to 15%, back up to 60%, back down to 14%. You got to be more consistent in your outside shooting.
Maryland basketball, Terrapins up by 4. Here's Bradley. Hicks double teamed. Inside, Hicks puts it up. Foul, the basket's good, and the foul is on Hansen. That's the third on Tanya Hansen.
Of course, the Maryland coach is happy about that. You can see Chris Weller.
Many of the Rutgers fans here, Dick, calling for the double dribble, but not called.
Yeah, it was hard to believe that that would also be a good shot, because it was the high pass. She jumped to get the pass, then jumped again. The feet hit the floor. The whistle blew. Then she took off for the shot. There is a little bit of discussion going down there to make sure they have it correct, but it looks like it will stand.
So Hicks goes to the line. Jessie Hicks has played very well for the Maryland Terrapins this afternoon. Her free throw is good. It's a 3-point play. That's a big play for Maryland. They now have increased that lead up to 7. At one time, Rutgers had whittled it down to 2.
And that's Hicks' 16th point. You're right. She's playing a great game.
Hansen, turnaround good off the glass.
And there's a person playing a great half. She's really come back strong. Nice touch inside.
51-46. Winters wide open on the baseline. Cannot connect. Gets her own rebound. Ball knocked around underneath. Whistle. Jump ball. It'll be Rutgers' possession.
Rutgers trying to play that zone with a little bit of matchup. Had a little bit of trouble and left her all alone down there. That may have shaken her up, as a matter of fact, on that shot, because you're used to someone coming at you, and she missed that shot.
Vicky Pikett returns. Suzanne Cooper will sit down for the Lady Knights.
Pikett's got to come back in for you. 10 points the second half so far. Great half for her also. 16 for the game and 8 rebounds.
Vicky Green to Vicky Pikett. Catala for 3. Yes!
Very nice execution by Rutgers. Maryland changed that defense. They went into a zone. Rutgers moved it around nicely.
3-point game. 2-point game, excuse me. 51-49. Turnaround. Winters, good.
Have a little trouble with that 1-3-1 matchup they're playing. That's the second time that Winters is left open, or they get a mismatch because she winds up with Green playing her, who's running that baseline. Green gives up a little bit too much in size to play Christy Winters.
It's a 4-point game. Catala again for 3. This one way off.
There's
off the backboard.
There's what I talked about, the consistency. One is a swish, the other one misses everything.
Here's Christy. Bradley thought about a 3, but instead a bullet pass into Winters.
But you notice again, it's that same spot. Rutgers is having a breakdown in that defense, which they've got to solve now. They cannot leave Christy Winters open underneath.
55-49, 9.5 remaining. Second half.
Winters herself has 9 points the second half. Had about 4 the first half. Wasn't a major factor. Hicks was, but she's gotten several in a row down that same spot. Rutgers has got to solve that problem.
Pikett, Hansen, turnaround, no, off the back of the iron, and a scramble. Mitchelson saves it to Green. Catala for 3, no, off the back of the rim, and Maryland the other way. 3-on-2 for Maryland. Oh, what a move by Estelle Christie.
Very nice move. She came down the center, faked the ball to the right, but kept it and went right up. Nice play, taking it to the hole herself on that break.
Rutgers by 8. 57-49. Oh, Maryland by 8. I said Rutgers by 8. 8:38 remaining. Here's second half. Dick Lloyd tapped me on the arm. I was wondering why you were tapping me, Dick.
I knew it was either
Thanks for the help.
It was either Rutgers or Maryland. I wasn't sure which one.
Maryland by 57-49. 8:35 remaining. Here's Christie, right wing. Maryland looking to go up by a full 10 here, and knocked out of bounds by Mandy Valentine, and the Terps will throw in.
Nice job by Valentine there, coming around and getting over the top, getting her hands on that, not playing behind where she could draw the foul.
This one in the backcourt, and it's a violation against Maryland. Rutgers will gain possession. Well, Rutgers made a run, and the Lady Knights were down by 2, but now things have slowed down just a bit again. Here's, look at Chris Weller, graduate of Maryland, and of course the head coach for 14 seasons. Johnson turnaround, spins around the rim and out. Pikett with a strong rebound, moves to the hoop and draws the foul. Blocking foul on Maryland.
Did a nice job in traffic that time, weaving in and out. A little softer on the glass, she'd have bought that basket, but taking it to the hoop, which Rutgers has to do. And Rutgers done a very nice job in the offensive boards last 2 times down. Mitchelson fought real hard and got that other offensive rebound. That time it was Pikett getting the offensive rebound.
So Vicky Pikett to the line. She'll shoot 2. And her first is good. She'll get another. And the second also, no, this time off the rim. 57-50, Maryland by 7. 8 minutes remaining in the second half. Winters bounce pass, Hicks. Double pump, puts it up, in, and the foul. Jessie Hicks is one tough freshman.
Another great job by Maryland. They got right down on Rutgers. Rutgers just about turning around. It went inside the post to Winters, and that's where she's so good. She decides, I'm not going to put it up all the time. She's looking. She finds Hicks on the other side. Hicks herself did a great job because she took it in, gave the little bit of a pump fake to get Johnson up on her feet, threw the foul, made the basket. That was a nice play by Maryland.
And she hits the free throw. It's a 3-point play. And a timeout on the floor. 7:56 remaining, second half. Maryland 59, Rutgers 50.
I'll never forget 1958, the first overtime championship game ever played in the NFL. Unitas and the Colts, they beat the Giants 23-17.
And the Sporting News was there. Hey, you want overtime? How about that 1982 playoff game? The Chargers over the Dolphins, 41-38. The most exciting game I ever saw.
And the Sporting News was there. Yes, whether it's football, baseball, basketball, or hockey, wherever the excitement is, the Sporting News is there, bringing you more complete coverage than any other sports weekly. Call now for the Sporting News at the lowest price anywhere, with convenient delivery right to your door.
Call 1-800-253-1000 and get 29 issues of the Sporting News for 4 payments of just $4.99. You'll save 69% off the cover price, 40% off the regular subscription rate. You can't get a better deal. Call 1-800-253-1000. That's 1-800-253-1000.
Welcome back to the Lewis Brown Athletic Center on the campus of Rutgers University, where the homestanding Lady Knights of Rutgers trail Maryland by the score of 60-50.
Look at the duo of Hicks and Winters for Maryland. 34 points, 13 rebounds.
Ball knocked away on the turnover. Maryland comes back. They have the numbers, but they'll slow it up. Estelle Christie sets it up for the Terrapins. Here's Hicks out to Christie.
She turns and looks and doesn't put it on the floor. Winters does the same thing.
Christie double pumps and throws it away. Vicky Pikett takes it out of midair. Johnson in the paint puts it in.
Nice job. Maryland playing a 3-2 zone now where they take that point in the 3-2 zone, drop her down inside, and Johnson was able to find a hole in there and go over her.
60-52, 6:50 remaining. Ball knocked away by Vicky Green. Rutgers on the turnover. Here comes Lena quickly across the midcourt line on the right wing. Finds a wide open Pikett at the foul line. No, off the back of the rim, and Hicks with yet another rebound.
Maryland offensively changed their set a little bit, and they were starting the players a little bit higher. They're about three-quarter post right now. You see Hicks is up there at the elbow, the left elbow. Winters is now high post, so they're putting their players up a little higher.
Hicks wide open, kisses it off the glass.
And then dropping them down the lane for that nice play.
Maryland by 10, 62-52. They've led by as many as 12. Rutgers at one time cut it to 2 here in the second half. We're under 6 minutes remaining. Linus, nice move, jumper, no. And the foul is on Rutgers. It may be Vicky Pikett. If it is, that would be her fourth. Looks like LaTanya Johnson. And that's her fourth.
Maryland staying with that 1-2-2 or 3-2 zone. Looks more like a 1-2-2 because they extend that point rather than playing it flat. When the ball goes to the side, the point goes down inside to make it look almost like a 2-1-2.
Christy Winters at the line. 1-1. Her first is good as she rattles it home. The outstanding collegiate basketball players in the nation, but she can't hit the second, and a foul is on Maryland.
16 points for Winters so far in the game today, and we talked about the fact that she's the number 3 scorer. She only needs 57 to get into that number 2 spot. She'll never catch Vicky Bullitt, who is their all-time scorer, but she will be the number 2 scorer in Maryland basketball history.
Hanson with a nice turnaround jumper off the backcourt. 9-point game, 63-54. 5.5 remaining second half.
Rutgers extending that pressure now, trying to get a little bit of a turnover.
This one tipped by Rutgers, so no backcourt violation. Maryland for Winters with the foul on. Jumper's good. Christy Winters.
And that's what makes Winters so tough. She can play really aggressive as she has most of the time with her back to the basket down on the blocks, but she can also step out to that foul line at 15 feet.
An 11-point Maryland lead, and the Terps are running on another turnover. The bullet pass is off of Estelle Christie's hands, and Rutgers will inbound. Larissa Catala back in for the Lady Knights.
Maryland done a nice job with that zone. They're really closing it up, so it's very tough to get the ball inside. They're also continuing to look for run to try to catch Rutgers just back a little bit slow on that defense.
Dick, Rutgers is really struggling offensively the last few times down the court. Vicky Green stops, pops, no. Pikett draws the foul.
They're struggling a little bit, Lou, because I think the zone makes it a little bit more difficult to get the ball inside. Forces you out to take that perimeter shot. They're not a strong perimeter team.
And Vicky Pikett will go to the line. She'll shoot 2, and Rutgers needs all of these free throws. She hits the first. And the second is on the way. Good. So she hits both. 9-point game, 65-56. Bounce pass inside, turn around, Rivers draws a foul. She'll go to the line. Foul on Vicky Pikett. That's her third.
Nice cut by Sabrina. She came hard from the other side, right along that baseline, and she stopped on a dime, so she got the ball on the block rather than allowing her momentum to take her out a little bit further, and then she drew the foul.
Sabrina Rivers rattles it home. She's a local product out of Jamaica, New York. 5'10" senior.
Tough defensive player. Does a great job rebounding for him. Leads him in rebounding to 7.4.
Second good. She hits both. And Maryland by 11. 67-56. 4:20 remaining second half.
And we can see Rivers dropping down inside.
Excuse me, Dick. This one thrown away. Another Rutgers turnover. And Rutgers being down by 11 at this point, Dick, they cannot afford too much more of that.
20th turnover for Rutgers.
Approaching the 4-minute mark. Inside, Hicks, position, puts it up, no. Gets it back and draws the foul. Foul will be on Vicky Pikett.
Jessie Hicks also does a very nice job inside where she gets that ball, and like too many players, she does not bring it down. She keeps it high.
Hicks goes to the line. She'll shoot two. The first is in and out. We'll get another. And the second is on the way. Good. And a break in the action. 3 minutes, 59 seconds remaining, second half. The score, Maryland 68, Rutgers 56.
Listen on your way home today as WRSU-FM 88.7.
Sworkin, snow, basic cable, satellite, head end. What does all this mean? Well, TKR Cable is going to help you understand the meaning behind these words and others as we take you on a short trip through the wired world of cable TV from A to Z. Find out why problems occur, the terms used, the people who made cable history, and what cable TV has to offer you. All on cable TV from A to Z on TKR Cable, Channel 6.
Channel 6 Sports is taking control of the floor, providing full game coverage of county basketball finals. We tip off with the Somerset County Girls Final on February 25th at 3:30 and February 27th at 4:30. The fast break action continues with the Somerset County Boys Final February 25th at 5 o'clock and February 28th at 4:30. Don't miss Middlesex County Hoopla with the Girls Final on February 26th at 8:30 p.m. and March 1st at 4:30, all here on Channel 6.
Welcome back to the Lewis Brown Athletic Center where the Rutgers Lady Knights are down 68-56 with 4 minutes remaining in the game. Rutgers is going to have to start scoring some points in a hurry, Dick.
Can't wait much longer. Got to make their move now. Foul shooting, 17 for 25 for Maryland. Rutgers only on the line 9 times, making 5 of those.
Cooper, jumper, good. Suzanne Cooper. That's a 2-point shot just inside the 3-point line. 10-point game, 68-58. There's plenty of time, but Rutgers is going to have to cut into this lead. Bounce pass, Hicks. Ball tapped. Crowd looking for a traveling call, but the referee quickly noticed that the ball was tipped by Rutgers. Here's Rivers into Winters, turnaround, short off the rim, and Hansen, the rebound, long outlet up, and traveling is the call.
Teresa Grent's not too happy. The fans not too happy with that call. You can see them shaking their head. No way. And you could see them thinking about that one. Now, do I call a charge? Do I call a block? Well, the easiest thing, let's call a walk.
Here's Hicks. Inside, Hicks again. Moving on Johnson. Blocked by Johnson. Hicks gets it back. Maryland has a fresh 30 seconds. Christie, wide open underneath. Shot put up and a foul on Sabrina Rivers. She'll go to the line. The foul on Rutgers. The foul is on Cooper. That is her second. And Linus will come out. Clock stopped. 2:45. And Sabrina Rivers will get two. Her first is good. Maryland has shot very well from the free throw line this afternoon. Second is on the way. Good. 70-58. Terrapins by 12. Rutgers going to have to do some catching up in a hurry here. Hanson Johnson has position and scores. Nice move by LaTanya Johnson.
Very nice move, and she does use the glass a lot straight away, which is unusual, but I've seen her do that a lot.
Pikett going for the steal and fouls Terry Bradley. And maybe 5 on Vicky Pikett. That is her 5th. She has fouled out. And they will miss her scoring now over the next 2 minutes and 24 seconds.
Oh, she's very important to Rutgers on the offensive board, on the defensive board. So far tonight in the game, she has 19 points, 10 rebounds.
So Us replaces Vicky Pikett, who fouls out of the game. A good game for Vicky. And Maryland has the clock stopped with 2:24 remaining. And the score 70-60. Free throw is good. The Terrapins are just burying Rutgers from the free throw line here.
Great composure. They keep running that same offense, get the ball down inside. Shooting great from the foul line, 7 for 7. Bradley herself being 7 for 7.
Both free throws made, 72-60, 2 minutes, 18 seconds remaining. Here's the shot by Catala for 3, no. Maryland the other way. Christie with a nice display of behind-the-back dribbling. Here's Bradley on the left wing, quickly to Hicks. Puts it up off the glass. Maryland by 14. And the Terrapins are in terrific shape right now. Here's Us. Hanson. Cooper looks to take a 3. Hanson cutting. Catala cannot connect. Nice pass from Hanson. And the ball knocked out of bounds by Maryland, so Rutgers will throw in. Just 1 minute, 41 seconds remaining in the contest. Hanson, no. Maryland the other way. With 1:30 remaining in the game. And Maryland well on their way to their 17th win of the season. Inside to Hicks, traveling the call. Boy, that's a rare mistake by the freshman.
I was just going to say, I think that's one of the first turnovers that I've seen her make. The big people do a nice job inside of not making turnovers.
74-60, 1 minute, 10 seconds remaining. Linus, jumper's good. But this one, as they say, is in the books for Maryland. .50 seconds remaining in the game. 74-62. Here's Us on the turnover. Quickly down court. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Maryland. Rutgers will inbound. .32 seconds remaining in the game. Hanson off the nice inbound. Basket is good. And she'll go to the line to complete, or try to complete, a three-point play.
Hanson playing a much, much better second half than she did first half. She just couldn't get it to drop the first half. Second half seems to be dropping very well. Rutgers continuing to go into her.
And Maryland has called timeout with 31 seconds remaining. And the score is 74-64. Breaking the action. We'll be right back.
Girl Scouts in attendance today.
buckle up, New Jersey, buckle up. We can all live longer if we buckle up. Whether close to home or if far you roam, keep your seatbelt buckled all the time. No excuses, you know it's a fact. With your seatbelt buckled, your windshield won't crack. In the Garden State, please don't flirt with fate. Uncle Floyd is telling all New Jersey, buckle up.
The odds are 2,038 to 1. Your life will end in a plane crash. 345 to 1. You'll die of AIDS. 105 to 1. You'll be murdered. But the odds-on favorite to take your life is cardiovascular disease. Chances are nearly 50-50 it will eventually kill you. You can put money on it. But if you want to improve your odds, put it into research instead. Improve your odds. Support the American Heart Association.
Back at Rutgers, where the Lady Knights are going to go down to defeat to the University of Maryland. And this crowd, Dick, is very quiet. They're not used to Rutgers losing on their home court.
Well, maybe the fact that it's not a league game and they're saying, well, it's been nice to win this one, but we want to make sure we're ready for the Atlantic 10 playoffs.
74-65 as Hansen hits the free throw, but just 25 seconds remaining in the game. There's a foul on Clarissa Catala. No quitting Rutgers, and that's a good sign.
This is really not a bad basketball team. Now their record is 16-9, 7-7 in the league. But I'm impressed with their athletic ability, great quickness, fundamentally sound man-to-man defense. Again, if they have a weakness, it may be the consistent perimeter shooting, but the two players, Hicks and Winters, really make up for that inside. They've had a fine game here today.
You know, you talked about their league record, Dick, and we should point out that Maryland plays in one of the toughest women's basketball conferences in the nation, the Atlantic Coast Conference. There's many good teams in that conference. It's a tough game day in and day out in that conference.
And they've got to play them twice. That's the other thing that makes it a little difficult. I think Virginia's ranked. I believe that North Carolina State is ranked also, and they play those teams twice.
Johnson puts it up and in. 12 seconds remaining in the game. 75-67. Maryland on top. And the Terps are going to win their 17th game of the season, but there's a foul with 2 seconds left. So with 2 seconds remaining, Estelle Christie goes to the line. This has to be a very satisfying win for Chris Weller, though, on the road against a very good Rutgers team. This is a very good win for, especially with some of the younger players on her club.
I'll tell you how great a win it is for Chris Weller. She has only won twice at Rutgers.